Hello everyone and thank you for joining me. I have been reviewing a few titanium fountain pens in the past and I decided to start to sprinkle a few brass pens as well from time to time. And since a lot of them unfortunately are unbranded, I will just assign numbers to them based on the order that I get to review them. And today I will be having a look at a pen that I did had for a while in my possession but never had a chance to use it yet. It is unbranded, and this font fan specifically, I have found it on AliExpress. Apparently, the fountain pen is handmade, and I stumbled upon it by just searching for brass fountain pen and browsing through the pages that AliExpress threw back at me. I paid around 46 Canadian dollars, plus an additional 4 Canadian dollars, I believe, for the non-clip version, which what you see right here. They do have a clip version as well, but for an extra $20 Canadian dollars, which is a little bit expensive. Having a quick look at the fountain pen, design-wise, it pretty much looks like a brass rod. The only thing that kind of gives it away is the fact that we have some threads at the barrel end, which, yes, that means you can actually pose the pen quite nicely and securely. And the other thing that might give it away is the line that you have in here that pretty much shows how big the cap is, which is pretty much yay much. And this pen, as you can probably see, even though I didn't really use that and I handle it very few times, it already started to have some patina on it, which I guess if you do like brass patina, this is kind of cool. Personally, I'm alright with it, but I'm not crazy about it. Anyway, going back to the pen, cap opens in about a turn and a half. It's very simple. It's pretty smooth. I never really had any issues with the cap as I was playing with it. And as you remove it, you will have a very short section, which, by the way, I don't think I would call it a section, more like a knob that helps you to actually take off the nib in order to refill the pen. And in my case, the pen comes with a Schmidt fine nib, and this is a number 5. And as you probably have seen from my previous videos, these are one of my favorite nibs that I really enjoyed. On the cap, no clips to talk about it, pretty much a very simple and smooth design. Having a look inside the cap, not much to say about it either. It's pretty much just brass and no inner plastic liners, which it's good. I don't think we'll have any issues with the ink drawing out. Usually, especially from my titanium fountain pens experience, the metal threads seal pretty well. And back to the fountain pen. As I mentioned, no real section to talk about. The barrel is pretty much the section. This is pretty much just a placeholder that you can grab on in order to actually remove the barrel, which, by the way, removes very nice and smooth. And once we remove the barrel, it's pretty much gonna discover that we have some nice threads in there, finer than the one on the barrel, with a very tall collar. Mostly because, well, it needs to actually has the same length for the nib unit in order to make sure it fits in there. And then a Schmidt converter, which actually works very well, very smooth. Never had any issues with this type of converters either. And it does come with a agitator inside. I'm not sure if I'll remove it yet. I'll leave it there for now. Quick look inside the barrel, just like the cap, very simple. No other things inside there, no inner plastic liners, nothing, just plain brass, which is good. In hand, the fountain pen feels actually quite nice, at least I like it. It does have a little bit of a weight to it, considering it's, well, pretty much brass. So please have a look in the description for weight and dimensions just to check and see if the fountain pen is a good weight for you. If you don't like heavier-ish pens, this probably will not be for you. But if you do like a little bit of weight on your pen, this might be ideal. Balance-wise, the fountain pen is pretty much in the middle, which is nice. And the good thing about it, if lengthwise is not good enough, for me the way I hold it seems to be literally at the edge of being comfortable. It's and sits in the middle of my knuckle in there. But as I mentioned earlier, this pen actually poses very nice and secure and gives you that extra length that is just perfect, at least for my hand. The balance of the pen does not change drastically. It will be still in the middle of it, and most probably I will be using it posted most of the time, especially if I draw, because it gives me a lot of hand positions. Now, grip wise, for my style of grip, that barrel is just perfect. It's not too thin and it's not too thick. It's literally perfect. So I think I'm going to enjoy this fountain pen quite a lot. And with that said, this is the fountain pen. Not a lot of features to talk about. As I mentioned, my version does not come with a clip, but you can buy the version with a clip. Unfortunately, it's for an additional 20 Canadian dollars, which is pretty much half a price of the fountain pen already, just to have a clip. But if you do need one, there's definitely a version for it. Anyway, let me go ink it up. I'll come back with a writing sample, and then hopefully we'll end up with a better sketch than last time. For today's ink, I am trying something new that I recently got. It's another Iroshizuku ink, specifically the Shinryoku. It does give a very beautiful shade of green on your skin, if that's what you like. Not that you will be able to avoid that, considering that this knob is pretty tiny and your fingers will most probably met that nib quite often, especially if you don't pay attention. No issues during filling it up. One thing that I did notice is that you do have a little bit of lip in there. So you'll have to use the edge of the paper towel in order to clean it up properly. Other than that, no issues, except the shading on your fingers. If you hate that, you'll probably don't like this pen that much. So I guess we'll be calling this the EDC Brass 01. Fountain pen. Nib is very smooth, no issues with it, glides very nicely. Reverse, a little bit dry, especially if you go quick. However, if you slow down, seems to keep up okay, and seems to give you a thinner line than the normal position for writing. Alright, no issues with the flow. Nib works very nicely. I think I'm gonna enjoy drawing with it as long as I get an actual nice sketch with it. And as usual, the thing that I really enjoyed about this nib is that if you do want to, you can get some line variation, not a flex or semi-flex, but as I usually say, definitely a fun nib. Yeah, unfortunately the reverse doesn't work that nicely. Probably a little bit of smoothing out will make it work better, but I'm okay with it. I think I'll leave it as is. Anyway, with that aside, I guess I will try to go into a sketch with this thing, and I'll let you know what I think of it. For today's drawing, I am bringing you some sort of an overworked moth. That was fun to draw. It just felt like I did not know when to stop drawing it. I kind of got myself inspired by a composition in a picture that I have seen on Twitter from all places. Anyway, I think I should have focused more on the moth and draw the whole thing a little bit bigger and not care much about the leaves around it. I wanted to start over again, but I pushed through and tried to do the best out of it. I think it turned out okay in the end, but like everything, it could have turned out a little bit better maybe. I'm not sure I like this ink for drawing though. On this paper it turned out a little bit lifeless, and it doesn't seem like it's an ink that I can build too much layers on top of it. I actually had to bring to the rescue two of my pens and try and make some parts of it darker. One of the pens had the Mont Blanc Irish green ink, and the other one had the Private Reserve Ultra Black ink. Unfortunate, but at least we know this ink, for me at least, is not the best for drawing. The fountain pen in exchange worked out like a treat, no issues with an nib and ink flow, and the way it fell in hands was pretty good for me. No actual complaints or any kind of fatigue from it. Was definitely fun to use it. Anyway, getting into it, what do I like about this EDC brass fountain pen? If you like brass as material for fountain pen and simple clean design without a lot of features on it, I think you'll most probably like this one as well. Personally, the first thing that I liked about the fountain pen is that it comes with a Schmidt No. 5 nib and comforter, and that it has a clean industrial design to it. I like the weight and balance of it, posted or unposted, and the fountain pen is made fully out of brass, and the only plastic bits you'll find are on the converter and the nib unit. And, well, if you need to, it does come with a clip version, and if you like the smell of brass, this thing does have the smell to it. Is there anything that I dislike about it? Not a lot of things that I dislike about the pen, to be honest. The only odd thing that I find is that without even using it, there is some oxidation on the brass. I have other pens made out of brass, and so far only this one has started to have these spotty parts on it. Other than that, I don't really dislike anything else on the fountain pen. Things you might not like? Well, the fact that it doesn't come with a clip by default and that the clip version is a little bit too expensive considering the price of the fountain pen. The straight rod or tube design without an actual section might not be on everyone's liking. And if you have issues with, smelly metals like brass, you probably won't like this either. Overall, I do like this fountain pen and I have no issues recommending it based on the copy that I have. Everything seems to work just great for me, and I hope all of them are just the same. I guess in the end it's just a matter of you liking the design, the weight, and the material that this fountain pen is made out of. With that said, this is where I stop talking and I'll let you enjoy the rest of the time lapse. If you have any other questions, leave a comment below and I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. Thank you for joining me today. Hope I'll see you next time, and I wish you all the best and a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Take care. Bye.